Jeff, old dude's rocking.
Old dude, not only that, we need to be more specific.
Old Maiden dude's rocking.
Old dudes who sang for the same band. Within 2 weeks, we got a solo album from Blaze Bayley and Bruce Dickinson, both former, one former and one still current member.
One formerly former member of Iron Maiden. Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Jeff, and welcome to the Sound Judgement podcast.
Where every episode, we'll be discussing all of the important musical topics, from reviews to which member of Motley Crue is the most vile.
I'm gonna judge the officials. I'm gonna judge all the judges. It's gonna take you people years to recover from all my opinions. Yeah, so one former member who rejoined member of Iron Maiden, and one former member of Iron Maiden. So we have two previous Iron Maidens here, which is beautiful that we just talked about the Metal Maiden Doro.
And now we're talking about the Metal Maidens.
All the Maidens. All the Maidens.
Hey, and we still have time. There's plenty of year. Paul's working on music. He doesn't have legs. He's a little slower. He could come in at any point. You never know.
I was just going to say, if only we could get an album this year by Paul Di'Anno. And then we could have. There were no other Iron Maiden singers, right?
Not
like
that,
it was.
Not
it
that
was
were
Paul.
recorded.
It was Paul. Then Bruce. Then Bruce left, and they brought in Blaze, and then Bruce came back. Correct?
I don't know. I don't know if they maybe had someone before Paul. I can't remember. I know
that's what I wasn't
members,
sure.
But no one has been recorded before, aside from those three.
I feel like every band has a first singer named Terry, so we're just going to assume that Iron Maiden had a man named Terry singing for them at some point.
It was Terry Glaze who would go on to join Pantera.
Okay, but that's kind of exactly what I mean. I feel like that's just. I feel like Terry is such a.
It's a session member name. It is a session member name.
It really is. Anyway, so we have The Mandrake Project by Bruce Dickinson and Circle of Stone by Blaze Bayley. I don't care which one. Where do you want to start?
Well, Blaze Bayley came out first.
Actually, let's start here, Chris.
Yeah.
What is your history with these guys? Because you have a history with these guys.
Oh, man, I fucking love Iron Maiden.
Exactly.
So the two first songs I heard by Iron Maiden were Number of the Beast and Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4. There was no 5. And Aces High on the radio. And boy, I sure like when people hit high notes and play fast. So I bought those albums at Best Buy. I think those were the two first ones I owned.
Oh, okay.
And then I think I got those two and maybe Peace of Mind or something. And then you find out that there's this other guy named Paul, right? But he's not relevant today.
I wish he were.
I wish he was too. But I got those two Paul albums and I finished out all the Bruce albums. And then you realize that there's this other guy that not a lot of people like. And his name's Blaze Bayley. And I'm going to be honest. I think overall the guy gets a lot of shit just because he didn't fit the band. I don't know that he's as bad as some people say, but he sure didn't have the voice for Iron Maiden.
I think the biggest problem is they took Bruce Dickinson, who is very clean, operatic, a very wide, very full range, and they got Blaze, who, not that he doesn't have a wide range, but he doesn't have the same range.
He has a much lower range.
And he has a lower range. And he has a bit more rasp in his voice. He didn't make sense.
No.
Like, I genuinely, like, if you're replacing a singer, you need to sit down and think, okay, if I need this person to sing any way you want it, I need someone who can hit the high notes at the, during any way you want it, right? You don't pick somebody who just literally doesn't have the notes in their range. And that's kind of what they did, which is one thing if they were only doing original music, but he's supposed to go on tour and sing these songs by a different guy.
I was going to say, I think the music that they put out, the first album with Blaze, you can hear that they're trying to do something. They're playing lower. They're playing detuned a little bit. They're playing more dark music, right?
Was it the 90s? Is this another case of the 90s being weird to metal bands?
This is like 95 or 93 or something.
as we just discussed, the 90s were so weird for metal bands.
Because in 91, they put out the last 2 albums with Bruce, and then there were a couple years where they were figuring things out, and then they brought in Blaze in the mid-90s. And again, they were doing different things, trying to play deeper, like darker music, and his voice didn't fit that bad, but you don't want to hear this guy sing The Trooper. And that's where you get videos of him being spat on by the crowd, is when he's playing The Trooper.
So this goes to, there's an interview with Jeff Scott Soto that I've heard, where he talks about his time in Journey. He sang for Journey for a while, which is why I used Any Way You Want It as an example.
Yeah.
And he talks about how if you are the singer who is famous for a song, you can get away at a live performance with changing it up because it's your song. People don't care. It's like, oh, look at them. They're being experimental. They're varying from the album. They're doing interesting things.
Yeah.
But when you are a guy coming in and filling that role, you better sing the melody exactly as it is on the album or people hate you.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it is that, right? People want to hear these songs and they want to pretend it's the voice they know. And Blaze cannot mimic Bruce Dickinson at all, like not correctly, and it doesn't make sense. So I think he was a bad choice for Iron Maiden in that they needed they should have known better.
Yeah.
They should have known that what they needed was a Bruce Dickinson copy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you do. Okay, so yeah, I mean, as is established, you definitely have a history with these guys.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, Virtual 11 is probably some of the worst music I've ever heard in my life. The second Blaze Bayley album.
Oh, okay, so I don't know what that is. Okay.
Because that is on top of that. So that's where they tried to go back to doing like Bruce Dickinson metal, but now they got Blaze Bayley on vocals on top of that, and the songwriting sucks.
Okay.
Angel and the Gambler repeats the chorus 22 times.
Oh no, is that actually a thing?
22 times.
That's the official number? Like
I've counted. You don't need an official number. I counted because I wanted to know, because someone said, oh, this is really clever because it's about gambling and they sing the chorus 21 times. And I counted and it's 22, so it's not even clever. And the chorus says, don't you think I'm a savior? Don't you think I could save you? Don't you think I could save your life? And
I know that.
He sings it, and then he sings it faster, and then he sings it slower, and then he goes back to the original speed, and the song fucking sucks. It is the biggest piece of garbage ever written by Iron Maiden.
I couldn't sing that back to you, but when you're saying the lyrics, I'm thinking to myself, like, I know this. I've definitely heard this. Okay. Oh, man. Well, in all fairness, that is a thing that Iron Maiden did quite a bit, considering my introduction to Iron Maiden was in, I want to say it was 2006, because I remember who introduced me to them. I took effectively a music appreciation class in high school.
Yeah.
And at one point, I've mentioned this before, we were all told to just bring in a piece of music, and the teacher was like explaining, even though it's not music he would listen to, he's looking for the things that he finds interesting about it.
Yeah.
And a guy who he and I eventually became friends afterwards, brought in the song Blood Brothers by Iron Maiden. Mm-hmm. And as far as I'm aware, that was genuinely the first time I actually listened to a full song by Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
And that certainly is a song that repeats the chorus over and over again. That was during their era on Brave New World, where the song title was basically the chorus. Just say the title 4 times in a row.
Yeah, that's during the sing the song title 4 times in a row period, which that's not singing the chorus 21 times.
No.
That's singing the line X number of times.
But you can see where that was coming from.
Oh my god.
It's like they had the idea and said, like, we should tone that down a little bit, but what do we do?
Well, but the thing is that they were already starting that with Blaze 2, singing the title 4 times. That's a thing that kind of started. I mean, they did that their whole career, but that's a thing that became more prominent on the X Factor, I believe.
Gotcha. I mean, that makes sense. I'm just saying, like, I know it's a thing that they continue doing And now, despite that, I learned to really like, and I ended up going out and buying the album Brave New World. I still think it's an incredible album.
Yeah.
But again, as far as I knew at that time, like, I didn't realize I didn't know who the singer was. I didn't know there were other singers. I kind of knew that one album, and then I eventually went out and bought one of the greatest hits albums, and that was pretty much all I knew about Iron Maiden up until a handful of years later, when you've, over the years, have explained more about Iron Maiden. We've seen Iron Maiden together.
Yeah.
I've listened to more Iron Maiden, but I'm not a huge Iron Maiden fan by any stretch.
We'll get you there. We'll work on it.
We'll see. But we're not talking about Iron Maiden. We're talking about the previous singers doing their solo projects. So, do you want to start with Circle of Stone since it came out first?
Yeah, sure.
Blaze Bayley's Circle of Stone.
Yeah, sure.
You know what? This is more of a you thing. Why don't you get us going? What do you think about Circle of Stone by Mr. Blaze Bayley?
It's fine. The production sounds pretty bad. That's my review.
Is that your full review? I mean, that's fine if it is.
That's kind of my review. The production's pretty bad. It's not bad music though. It's not remarkable. Nothing. The thing that stands out to me is that I love his positive energy. Every song is positive therapy for this man.
Every song is. Oh, sorry. I lost my thought. I was trying to find some, like, as the kids would say, quote, and I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Damn it. Because I was gonna say every song is a banger, but, like, no, that's me being an old man and using that word wrong. That's not actually what that means. No, the whole album really is, like, super positive and cheerful for a heavy metal album, right?
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of downers here. He's not singing depressing songs.
Blaze Bayley thinks you can do it, man.
No, that being said, I'm not entirely sure what he's singing about at times. I don't really... I feel like there's supposed to be a story in some of these.
I don't know
somewhere.
Maybe.
But it
also just sounds more like he's like, I don't know, he's just gone through self-therapy or something, and he's like just writing some positive affirmations out in music. Because I picked a random song, the second track, making every second count. I want to keep myself in this fight. It's not an easy thing to meet your maker and change your life and all this stuff.
I feel like either there's a story to this album that I'm not understanding. I mean, it's called Circle of Stone. There's a picture of Stonehenge.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's supposed to be relevant or not. Or there's absolutely no point, and it's just like word salad every song. But it has some great lines, and like you can pick any line off this album, and you're not kidding me. There's lines like, "They can knock me down, but I won't stay down. If they read my mind, they will find I am ferocious. I am resolved to become unbeatable.
Yeah.
It's never hopeless. I'm positive we can become unbeatable." And that's just like, I just picked a random line. I just scrolled, hit a button, and scrolled to the lyrics. There you go.
Like, I close my eyes and I can see the possibilities I planned for you and me. My truth I will not hide. This change I will not fear. What can we all become in the year beyond this year?
Give me a sign and I will know where I belong. In our mind's eye, can you see our homeland? An illusion, a shadow, a spirit, a dream. I exist. I am real. Again, I'm just hitting random lyrics. Like,
I learned my lesson, and
fun.
I'm still learning how to make every day count. When I look back, I see an angrier man chasing all the things that are useless now.
It's fun. It's a fun album. It is a really fun album.
Yeah.
Is it moving me in any serious way? No. I had a good time listening to it, though. Unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot else to say. The musicianship on it is phenomenal. I don't know who his band is. I did not look that up. He surrounds himself with great guys. He's a fantastic singer. Everything about it is fun, but it does that thing about a lot of more, I don't like to use the word generic, but I'm drawing a blank on a better word, more generic heavy metal, where I feel like there really isn't a point to a lot of the songs.
Yeah, not
like it might be telling a story.
Yeah.
But it's the cliche, like, power metal thing of just like, I don't know, man, write a song about wizards and dragons and ta-da, you have a power metal song. I feel like it's a lot of that.
That might be the case. I don't know. I didn't pick anything else in terms of a story, but I maybe wasn't listening close enough. Like you said, yeah, I mean it's a little it's certainly a metal album that was put out this year, but it's not bad.
It's a lot of fun. Okay, so I guess, as you would say, probably more importantly, what are your thoughts on the Mandrake project?
I just got the vinyl in the mail today.
Did you?
Yeah, it's a great album. Jeff, I mean, my thing is, clearly Bruce Dickinson has a better idea of how to write a song than Steve Harris, who keeps padding everything out to like 15 minutes.
Okay. Oh, is he the one responsible for that?
I think so. I mean, he has the Eternity Has Failed is basically a re-recording of a song that was recorded with Iron Maiden. Bruce wrote it for this project, but it was recorded first with Iron Maiden, and now it's been re-recorded with some lyrical differences. But it's like 3 minutes shorter.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I think it's just, I mean, I think your brother put it best as the problem with most recent Iron Maiden is not everyone needs 3 solos in the songs today.
Yeah.
I don't want to make it sound like I'm shitting on Iron Maiden. They're a band that still puts out decent albums. I didn't care for the last one as much, but they put out some great albums in the last couple of years. Still doing good work, but they have a style, and they stick very closely to that style. And what I like about Solo Bruce is that he does some different, interesting things. And he knows how to parse down a song to as long as it needs to be.
It's not the same writing team, right? Yeah. Like there's a different group of people involved. So yeah, I can say, now I will also say, I pulled up the track listing here, and we have a 5-minute and 45-second long song. Okay. A minute that's about, a song about 6.5 minutes. A song that's just pushing 7. Another song that's just pushing 7, and a song that's over 10 minutes long. Almost 10 minutes long.
No, 9:50.
Yeah, say almost, not all over, almost 10 minutes long.
Okay.
So we still have a lot of the long song syndrome, which in itself is not a bad thing. I'm not criticizing here.
Yeah, I don't think that this is that long, though. Maybe it's just because I'm used to like longer metal songs, but I don't. None of this is crazy to me.
No, none of it's crazy. I'm just saying, but these aren't like. Yes, he was able to. You know, he can write a song that's a little more reasonable than some Iron Maiden songs, but he's also not exactly writing 3.5 minute long in and out bangers.
Well, no,
right?
it's like another weird concept album about.
He's still doing his big stories, right?
Yeah, exactly. But it's done in a more reasonable dose.
Okay, Chris, this is a concept album. What the hell is it about?
I don't know.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I don't know what it's about. It's more of his. I think it's more of his Aleister Crowley stuff. But he's putting out like a full ass comic book explaining the story. So come back to me. Come back to me after issue 12. I think this is also like the first album in like a couple story albums. So okay. I'll read the comic. I'll get back to you, and I don't know. I don't always need to know what the story is to enjoy it.
Oh, see, I do, but at the same time, it's also a big deterrent from me from even wanting to get into things because I'm not interested.
I just want to throw this out there. This is the I'm gonna read you the track times from the last Iron Maiden album. Just just look at the Bruce Dickinson timestamps.
Yeah.
8:20, 4:59, 6:13, 9:31, 4:03, 7:09, 7:20, 10:20, 12:39, 11:19. One song around 4 minutes.
Yeah, they don't know how to write an in and out banger. Yeah. They don't. And
not anymore. They used to.
That is one of the things that keeps me from being a genuine Iron Maiden fan.
They used to.
It is completely unnecessary. There is no reason for this.
Anyway.
But what the hell do I know? Oh my god, that album is 1 hour and 21 minutes long, and it's only 10 songs.
Yeah.
Holy hell.
That's what I'm saying. Just parse it down a little.
I don't get it. I really don't.
Anyway,
so Bruce Dickinson, as far as I'm aware, there's a story here. I don't really know what it is. This is definitely an album for people who are fans of Bruce Dickinson.
That's me.
This is definitely... I don't think anyone is coming into this like, oh, here's my first album that this man has recorded. I've never listened to him before. let's see what this is. This is not turning anyone into a fan,
No,
which
no,
is
no.
fine. I don't think that's who this is for anyway. Obviously, this is back to the I am not the target audience for this.
Yeah. Did you enjoy any of it though?
It was enjoyable, but I will probably not revisit it.
I really like though that I like some of the genre bending that he did on some of the stuff like Resurrection Man and Fingers in the Wounds and stuff like that.
I think there's some good stuff. I was gonna say if I had to pick some songs, I naturally I like some of the shorter ones actually. Yeah. I will say Resurrection Man is a good song. I would say Fingers in the Wounds is a good song with a title that makes me feel a little uncomfortable, but what can you do? But again, I am not the target audience for a Bruce Dickinson album. As someone who's already not a big Iron Maiden fan, it's too... I don't know how to say this. Because again, this is almost related to what I was saying about the generic metal of just like, write a song about a thing, write an album about, start talking about dragons and pagans and boom, you got a metal album. This is a case of, I know it's a cliche, and it's a cliche because he's one of the people who made it a cliche, right?
Yeah.
I think Bruce Dickinson's music sounds very generic to me, and I realize that it's because he's one of the creators of that sound.
Yeah.
But that doesn't change the fact that it just sounds uninteresting. He has a phenomenal voice, but he has a voice that doesn't stick out to me in any way. His voice is unremarkable. Because a million people have imitated him
that's
since.
A weird opinion, but I get what you're saying, but like it's like one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's like he created this thing and now enough people have like done the same thing that
other people I think have done it in better ways because, we all stand on the shoulders of giants, right? It's the same fact that like, and I've said this before, I think Tim Owens is a better singer than Rob Halford. I think he does Rob Halford songs better than Rob Halford does. But he does it because he had that. Coming. I don't care. He does it because no, we're not talking about Lynch Mob.
I can hear the Lynch Mob.
We were talking about them earlier. That's we talked about them already. I think I referenced them in the last episode. No, again, we all stand on the shoulders of giants. Bruce Dickinson created a style of singing. I mean, not single-handedly. There were others involved as well, but still. But I think other people have done it better, and just unfortunately, it's the other people who I was a fan of first. Mm-hmm. So when I went back and listened to Iron Maiden, to me, it's just like, oh, this is a step down. This feels like I took a step backwards. This isn't doing anything for me. There's nothing wrong with it, but I think the people who were influenced by Iron Maiden are potentially better than Iron Maiden. And Bruce Dickinson is a big factor of that.
All right, here's the final reviews. Blaze Bayley gets 1 thumbs up. Bruce Dickinson gets 2 thumbs up. Jeff's opinion gets 1 thumbs down.
I will probably listen to Circle of Stone again. I will probably not listen to the Mandrake Project again.
I'd like to change my rating. Jeff's opinion gets 2 thumbs down.
Chris, I finally did it.
What?
Sorry, I'm getting you off track now because I feel like it.
Okay.
I finally actually thought to sat down and make a playlist called Rat Poison.
Yeah.
And it's just Rat's discography and Poison's discography, and you hit shuffle and hope for the best. The next step is to make a Poison and Venom playlist and do the same thing. You just put it on shuffle and just pray to God you get the right thing.
That's a good meme, though. That Poison Venom meme.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going with. It's the stupid. How do you know what's the difference between Poison and Venom?
Yeah.
One of them's black metal, one of them's hair metal. Whatever. It's a dumb joke, and I made a playlist for it. Chris, what have you been listening to lately?
Jeff,
I mean, other than the things we've talked about, like I know you've been listening to Bruce and Blaze and Doro.
Jeff, I've been listening to a weird amount of Harvey Danger.
Wow.
Yeah.
How's that going?
I like them.
Interesting choice, though. What brought that up? Where did that come from?
Because I fucking like them. I don't know. I don't know how to best describe it, but I feel like when people explain what they like about Weezer and I don't get it, I feel that way about Harvey Danger.
Weird.
Yeah.
That's weird. I like it, but that's weird.
They got 3 albums. It's a really easy dive.
I'll say I know they don't have much. I know I at various points have taken some steps into their discography, and there's not a whole lot in there.
There's only 3 albums, and shockingly, I don't necessarily... Because you know where have all the Merrymakers gone.
Yeah.
But shockingly, I don't know that that's where all the best music is. So, you take that into consideration.
I feel like we have briefly talked about them before, and I think we kind of had that conversation a little bit.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if I ever dug into them much more at all or not. I don't remember. I really don't remember, actually. Interesting. Anything else, or has that been... I mean, obviously, we've been listening to a lot of stuff to talk about, so I realize that takes up a lot of time.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of Warlock, Doro, Bruce Dickinson, and a little bit of Blaze Bayley in here, some Sonata Arctica. I listened to the Skyhill album again because the vinyl came.
Yep, same. My copy showed up.
I think I liked it a little bit better on a re-listen, but, it grew on me a little.
Yeah, I really like that album.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Not that I didn't like it the first time around, but I think just once it comes out, you maybe have some expectations, and then, like, once you actually hear it, you can put yourself in check a little bit,
Yeah, okay, valid.
I actually had one that I wanted to bring to you, and I'm trying to remember what it was.
Way to go.
Because it was the first time listening to something John McGlynn in a long time.
Oh, I listen to him all the time. Oh, man. Beautiful, beautiful man.
I kind of, ever since, like, I got rid of my iPod and started listening to things on Spotify, I've kind of forgot about, like, some of the stuff that I would sometimes put on scrolling past on the iPod.
Oh, okay.
That I don't think of to search as frequently as I would just put it on impulsively scrolling past it.
Yeah.
So some of those, like, I forget about every once in a while, and that was one where I just popped into my head. I haven't listened to this guy in a while.
John McGlynn. We've mentioned him before. He has an Irish, I would say, like, modern folk singer, right? Like, it's everything he writes is very crystal clear, drenched in reverb in many cases. He has this high, very, like, pristine voice. Phenomenal songwriter. He only has 2 albums. One is called Songs for a Fallen Angel, which I think was actually written in the 90s, but it was like recorded or maybe re-released or something in the early 2000s. And then it took him until 2019 to record a second album called Fragments. And they are both just, like, depressingly gorgeous albums. Absolutely incredible music. Love John McGlynn. Does not have nearly the credit I think he deserves. He's one of my staples, right? Like him, yeah. Jeff Buckley. Like, these are things just, like, come back all the time to me.
All right, Jeff, what have you been listening to lately?
A lot of Rat and Poison.
A lot of Rat Poison.
A lot of Rat Poison, to be completely honest with you. A good amount of Vixen, actually, who I was never a big fan of, but I'm working on it. And I brought Vixen up because I ran into I ran into Mean Streak, as we discussed in the Duro episode, that all-female metal band that half married Dream Theater. So a lot of them as well. Basically, I'm on a big hair metal kick. Like, that's kind of my thing right now.
Old dude's rocking in hair
Weird
metal.
Weird for a bald man.
Well, you gotta have a dream.
That's very true. I can keep dreaming. Speaking of dreaming, Christopher.
Yeah? You going to bed?
I'm gonna get going to bed. Not quite yet, but I'm gonna get there soon. So
So you taking us home?
You got anything else?
I got nothing.
You got anything else, or is it nap time?
It's nap time because you got to get your sleep, because we're gonna be back here way too soon talking about Judas Priest and probably Sonata Arctica.
Oh, we have in 2 days we have such an awesome lineup of stuff coming out, which I've listed before, and I just can't express the fact that I'm so damn excited with new Bleachers, new Sonata Arctica, new Ariana Grande, new Judas Priest, new Ninja Sex Party, and not a new album, but apparently Slash recorded or is recording a blues album, and apparently there's going to be more information about that on Friday, and I'm excited to see what that's all about. Because if he really is recording just like a straight-ahead blues album, that could be really cool.
Jeff, I was thinking about potentially doing it old school style, where you pick 2, and we'll pick 4 records.
Oh,
and I don't know if we'll do it all as one review. I might put them out separately.
Yeah,
but just do a session of. We'll start with Judas Priest and Sonata Arctica, but if we run short, 2 other ones.
Okay, absolutely. Well, so, I will listen to all of those on Friday, I'm sure. So,
well, no, pick 2 now though. Which 2 are you most excited for?
Oh, most excited for is Judas Priest, and Sonata Arctica.
Okay.
Although again, Sonata Arctica, take that with the grain of salt of I'm excited because I want to know what it's like.
Cautiously excited.
When it comes to excited knowing it's gonna be good, is Ninja Sex Party.
Okay.
I know that if nothing else, that's going to have a couple fun, good songs, and that's all I expect from them.
Do you want to pick a 4th? Do you want to subject me to something
Oh, Ariana Grande.
Okay, cool.
If
So-
we're really doing that.
So we'll do Judas Priest, Sonata Arctica, Ninja Sex Party, and Ariana Grande. This
I
will
can
be the
do that.
first album I've ever honestly, I don't know much about Ariana Grande aside from her voice kind of annoys me, and she was on a Nickelodeon show a long time ago.
Oh, good. You're going to have a good time then. I don't know anything about her new album, but you're going to have a good time.
Okay. Now I really want you to take me home now that I got this ahead of me.
I don't want to go home, Chris. I am home. I want to go to bed.
I want to go home, but I am home.
I am home. I want to go to bed.
Okay.
So, Christopher, have a good night.
Jeffifer, good night.
Have a good night.
Good night. I think that's our most peaceful ending.